How important is sex in a relationship? I'll answer that.
Very.
Important.
Okay.
Very. Okay, now y'all answer.
And but why? Why is it?
Why? Because I think you can have intimate relationships with people who are not your spouse. And I think sex is a part of what separates the intimacy of you and your friends and your, people that you relate to in other ways and your partner. It's like a part of the exclusivity of being in a romantic relationship with somebody.
Yes.
I will say that is Glynda's answer verbatim.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley, and I'm so happy you came by. The Queerly Blax Show aims to normalize the everyday existence of Black, LGBTQIA+ individuals through an interview-style series with regular folks like you and me. So every week, a new guest shares their story and unique perspective on their existence as an LGBTQIA+ individual. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe, download, set your reminders to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley. I'm joined today by the creators of a pretty cool game going around in the lesbian community. I don't know if y'all heard of the Lesbian Conversation. We got the Giverrs in the house.
Yes.
Glynda, Carrie, tell the people about yourselves.
Yes.
What's up? We are Carrie and Glynda Giverrs, and we created this game called the Ultimate Lesbian Conversation. You can follow it at Lez Convo. And apparently the game is making rounds. Y'all answering questions. It's going good.
It's going, man, listen, this game is off the chain, y'all. Listen, it's 169 questions.
Yes.
Now we're gonna do this episode a little different because we gotta get straight into these questions. Because if I interview y'all first, I'm not gonna probably want to ask some of these questions. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the questions before we do the interview, and then I'll probably want to dig into y'all business a little more after that. So look,
And you can. We're an open book.
so she showed y'all the box, but y'all listen, this is serious.
Yay.
The Ultimate Lesbian Conversation, 169 questions. If you ask all these questions to your girl and you don't get answers to everything and understand everything about her, she lying. She lying straight up. So how you play? Let's see. Okay, one-on-one or a group? Is it technically group? One-on-one? I'm asking y'all. So
We're a group.
we're a group. Okay, so for
we together, but we individuals for
which
sure.
okay. Every man for themselves.
Yeah.
So play for play, draw a card and ask the question to your right. The lesbian who answers draws cards and repeats clockwise. Well, I have the cards. So y'all just gonna tell me a number 1 through 20, and then I'll just skim through and we're gonna improvise. So if y'all virtual, y'all can play with y'all friends. Just improvise the rules a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You could get the job done. Okay, full coverage. Every lesbian draws a card, asks the questions, and everyone takes turns answering. Okay.
Actually, you're the only person who has ever read the instruction
Yes.
card. I just gotta say.
Look, I'm just trying to make sure people know it's instructions in there. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
But if you're drunk enough, you just play it however you want to play it.
Yeah,
Just
right.
whatever. Just pull the card, answer the question. Okay, give me a number 1 through 20.
7.
4.
4. Okay. We'll go 7 first. That's the first one I heard. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Way to play.
Yes.
Pick a number.
Okay.
That's the number of the card.
Ready?
Ready.
Would you ever?
Who's asking?
I guess me that said 7.
Okay.
7. Yeah.
You know,
Y'all can both answer.
And I'm gonna ask you.
Would you ever record yourself during sex?
Oh my God. Woo, we coming busting. Okay.
You can't. Hey, that's what you picked, and I ain't making it up.
You right.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it brief and say I would and I have.
Yeah.
Ooh, he gets spicy.
We have together.
We have together.
Oh man.
In 2009. Come on,
2009, y'all.
It was in 2022.
Search your local porn sites for the Giverrs. They might be giving out something.
Everybody at some point, when you feeling your person and the mood is right and the drinks are flowing, we've all done it. I would say 9 times out of 10.
So you've been with some freaks.
Hey now.
No, I would just say 9 times out of 10. It's happening.
Where do you keep a homemade porn tape? Do you
In the
keep this
safe
on your phone? Do you keep this in a safe? Like, do you
keep it in your
download this and put it in
personal-
a hard drive?
Keep it in your
USB?
personal spank bank
It's gotta be.
in your hidden album.
It's gotta be an SD card for me. I'm a little old school.
Okay.
You got to put yours up in the lock safe,
Yeah.
in the safe somewhere.
Right.
Collateral. So if the house burned, it burned with it.
And see, my thing is, okay, if I'm on there, it won't get leaked because you on there too. And you know, women and women,
yeah.
we not trying to, you know, so if my goods are showing, yours are showing too. So you're not gonna get too crazy.
What about y'all? What about exes? Y'all some tapes I did with them exes?
Yeah.
what?
I'm pleading the no.
Okay, yeah, we married out here. We gonna do okay.
Book. I'm an open book. Yes.
So you got some. Okay, y'all search our local porn sites for the Givers.
They have remained in their safe.
Okay.
I don't think I knew that. All right.
Oh man, come on, listen, we ain't bringing up no marriages over here. Okay, we got to. All right,
talk
y'all
about
search.
everything.
I guess we hadn't made it to question 7 yet.
Out of 169, that's kind of hard. Was it 69 intentional?
Of course.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get a number. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
You want 4 still? Okay.
Number 4. My favorite number.
Y'all picking the very interesting numbers. How do you introduce a new sex toy in the bedroom?
You say, hey, baby. Well, it depends. If you shop together, you walking around and you say, I really want to try this. Or it just comes to the door and you say, look what I got.
AdamEve.com.
I kind of want to do this. What you think? But you also have to know your person ahead of time. Like, you know, in the lesbian community, it's a magnitude of different things. You have people that only want certain stuff and so forth.
Yeah.
You have to know.
Don't like penetration, don't want stuff inside of them.
Exactly. You have to know that ahead of time. So yeah, I think first knowing ahead of time, for me, knowing what they would prefer or I would prefer. And then just surprise me with it. Have it come to the door one day. Hey
now. Surprise. So if your person don't like, you know what I'm saying, penetration, don't come with the, you know what I'm saying, 12-inch joint coming to the door like, hey babe, let's, you know what I mean? No, ain't nobody got time for that.
No. You know, dang it. And not just skip in the questions, but someone I was talking to, because you can imagine as we have a lesbian card game, we see people playing it and we hear a lot of answers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I cannot remember the question, but as a feminine presenting woman, the masculine presenting woman had a different perspective about using, that's what it was. The question was, do you use protection during lesbian sex? And they were referring to their strap and how they always use a condom and they only use a strap first. And they're like, if I put my mouth on someone, it's special. So I always, when I'm first having sex with a woman, it's with a strap. And I just thought, wow, you know, Femme for Femme, that's something you do when y'all booze for a while.
A long time.
Hey, baby, I brought this. What's your size? What's your preference? We started But Femme for Femme, like, that's not something you introduce right off and I know I'm jumping the questions, but
no, you good.
Don't introduce right off of right off of meeting someone. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Just, I don't know if that's the case for all mass presenting women, but
no.
To Femme, it's like, no, we don't just come off with the toys and the strap and the sizes I would be like, wait, what?
No, yeah. You didn't already come. If you didn't have that equipment when I met you, listen, it's like, this is probably crazy. To me, lesbian sex is like, it's like Build-A-Bear. It's like the bear comes with certain things. You know? Let's see what the bear already got. And then if we need to go back to the store, add some stuff to the bear, then we can add some stuff, but you can't just come with the deluxe souped up package. Like, you don't know if I want all them features. You know, you go buy a car, then they'll put all this stuff on there trying to charge you. Like, yo, I ain't even asked for that. Like, I don't need the auto navigation. I know how to drive. We good. Like, you know.
Yes,
so
and
like
the beauty in lesbian relationships, you don't got to come with all of that.
You got to come with all that.
You got to ease into that. Hold on now.
If you know what you're doing with what you already got, but you know, we're not going to talk about that today.
Acoustic is a genre for a reason. Sometimes you don't need all that other production.
You don't need all that. No. Some people go straight up a cappella and they good. No instruments, no nothing. You feel me? Just ready to roll. Exactly. Anyway, okay, I need another number.
Go ahead. You're next, baby.
16.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Make an Ashley count.
16. Okay. What? This is a good one. And I want both of y'all to answer because I was going to ask y'all about this since y'all are a femme on femme relationship. I wanted to ask y'all this question anyway. What do you do when men hit on you?
Man, men hit on me all the time.
Mhm.
My MO is I just try to convince them that I'm way better off as their homegirl.
She will talk to them.
I'll be talking to
She
them.
will make friends.
I'll be making friends out of them men.
And I'm like, oh, I'm married. My husband's over there.
My husband's
Oh, lucky man. Yeah.
Yeah, whole woman in aisle 16 at Target.
He's big and strong. I say that's my, and she's like, oh, but you're so nice and sweet.
I'll be making friends. I make friends.
She makes friends.
I love that. I love it.
Tell her we went to Vegas for her birthday, and I think just in one night it was 3 different guys that came up and approached me, and it's kind of fun. Like, yeah, baby, somebody wants me. And I'm telling her the stories,
and every time she told them about her husband.
Yes,
her husband.
Every time,
because as
who's across with a sundress.
Sometimes it's not about proving that you're a proud married lesbian. Sometimes it's about your safety.
Yeah, for sure.
You just need to put that out there. I'm married. If you need to flash a ring, whatever.
And one guy was like, nah, no way. And I was like, no, it's right here. I had to show him, like, this is my ring. I didn't. But yes, I personally just don't want to get into it. I don't want to have to explain. I don't want to have to. I'm married.
Because saying you're a lesbian to a man is very.
It's like a fun. That's like a challenge. Like,
it is.
You ain't had the right one.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, sir, just relax.
That's what we do, and then hit on. I'm married.
I love it.
Sometimes she does make friends with them.
She'd be like, nah, I'm one of the boys. What's up? We play basketball. We eating chicken wings. All right.
And I'll be like, baby, let's go. Just long. Stop talking. Now we here talking to this man.
I love it. All right, I need another number.
Another number. I'm not gonna make you do 44, so I will do 8. 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
I like playing this.
Oh, well,
like the new mode of play.
Ashley, you're answering this next one.
I'm telling you.
I can't answer that one. Y'all, you just kind of answered it. So we talked about the sex toy thing. How important is sex in a relationship? I'll answer that.
Very
important.
Okay.
Very. Okay, now y'all answer.
And but why? Why is it?
Why? Because I think you can have intimate relationships with people who are not your spouse. And I think sex is a part of what separates the intimacy of you and your friends and your, people that you relate to in other ways and your partner. It's like a part of the exclusivity of being in a romantic relationship with somebody.
Yes.
I will say that is Glynda's answer verbatim.
Yep. Yeah. That separates you.
Because I do believe the older I've gotten, the more I do believe you can have intimate relationships with other people like that are not sexual. You can relate to somebody on a really deep level, spiritual level, and feel like they're a huge part of who you are. But what separates, because you can also, I think also a part of that is like, there are things that I my wife is my best friend too. So there are things that we talk about. There's nothing that I would talk to someone else about that I wouldn't talk to her about. So like, that's not that I think is an exclusive part too of my relationship with her. There are things that I would obviously share with her but there's nothing that I have in an intimate way with someone else like that I don't have with her. But then also I feel like sex and that intimacy, because for women, it's a little different too. It's not just like sex, but like sex is a part of my connection with her, not with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Verbatim.
Yes.
Very important. Look, the answer is very.
Right. Yeah. How frequent though?
It depends.
It does
Dang,
depend.
that's a good follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
It depends, whatever is comfortable for the relationship.
Yeah.
If there are some relationships where there are 2 people that may be okay with once a month or every day, it's definitely dependent on the couple and what their preference is. And sometimes, and we talk about it, sometimes if I'm going through something mentally, I can't have sex. But knowing that my partner, my wife, is knowing, okay, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not going to bring it up because maybe she's going through something. Or some people, when they're going through something, they want to pound town. Yeah. That's a hetero word. But anyway, it depends on the couple, and having that communication and open dialogue is the most important to know. How often or
you
when.
answer as a new parent.
Yes.
Man.
Circumstantial.
It's definitely circumstantial. I mean, I think even over a 15-year period is circumstantial. Like I feel like it's been interesting. Like obviously like the first couple of years, it was several times a day. Like there was no like
everywhere
in college skipping class, like to have sex, right? Like crazy. But then I think as like life has changed and we've progressed, I think we just check in with each other about it. Like I think there's kind of always something happening. But I think we do a good job of checking in to make sure that like we're both okay, like from an intimacy perspective. Because especially now with a child, it's rare that we're both like in the mood. Like it's very rare. Like somebody's always exhausted, somebody's always, but we always make sure that like let me put it this way. There's a kind of like a no denial clause. Like if somebody needs it, like we just make sure that like everybody's happy. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? So like you just get yourself together and you do what you got to do. Right. Like, you know, we just make sure it's good, because I feel like a part of being in a long-term relationship in, you know, making sure that, you know, your person stays your person in terms of like,
right,
you know, not having too much other shit going on. You know, you just gotta be honest. And then, you know, sometimes the baby wins, and we be, because he also in our room. So then there's that, right? Like there's like,
you gonna have sex,
can't be like, yeah, you know, you can't be, you know, you gotta get creative. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, so I think just, you know, tapping it, communication at all points in time, you know, and just making sure everybody's cup is, I want to say full, but just, you know, they're not thirsty.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You're not thirsty.
Because full is tough. Full is hard.
Yeah.
But I think not thirsty.
I don't know much about the hetero world, but the beauty in two women, I believe, is that, you know, we talk. Women like to talk, and women communicate. And like when we first got on, it was like, it's like, nope, we talk about everything, and we know how to receive everything that the other person is saying, even if it's something that may be hurtful, or, you know, the person doesn't want to hear, but being open to receiving what the other person is saying. So,
critical. Gotta that's also a big difference too, because like even having straight friends is a very interesting dynamic as well. Like one of our friends, her and her husband are kind of going through something very interesting, and sex is always a part of that conversation. Like she's, you know, super stressed out, and she like, he wants to have sex, and I'm like, get off me, don't, I can't even look at him. Like it's like such a, you know, they can't overcome whatever, and she's like, no, and then he, you know, but it's just a very different dynamic, you know, it's very, very different. So very interesting. All right, let's do one more.
That's why the straight women be so curious.
Listen, I don't even go on for I did when I did the little video, I said I could always tell when a woman is gay. Like I always know.
Yeah, before you left,
I always know. Yeah.
What are her telltale signs?
Well, I'm a masculine presenting woman, obviously, right? So I think the thing is, I think the same way that a woman would look at a man she was interested in, a woman will look at me.
Okay.
Like it's the same. It's like almost like the same thing. Like because what do they say? Like I don't know. I think a woman. How does it go? I don't know if I think a woman chooses a man kind of thing. Like if she's looking at me longer than just a regular, you know, passing me by, it's like 9 times out of not, I'm always right about it. Like I'll tell my wife too. I'll be like, yeah, that girl. She not that she but not that I don't take it as like she likes me, but that she's just gay. Like I just you know what I mean? Like she's like, I'm in her community, like I'm in her hemisphere, not like
I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't take it as that if everybody's interested in me. I'll just be like, oh yeah, she definitely likes women. I
agree with that, although I'm married, but I'm out in the community, I'm like, and I'll even say, oh, there goes family. Or,
that's
like,
family. That's family for sure. Yeah, that's interesting. So all right, let's do one more and then I'll get into y'all's business.
Okay, just pull.
Not that I'm already not in it, but all right, I'll just pull one. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
She pulled them. She pulled them all from the pleasure deck.
No, you know what? I didn't even see. I read the instructions after I opened them, so I had already mixed them up, and then the pleasure was just happened to be more interesting. For this conversation,
always the fun. The pride deck is in there for people because some people are a little more timid if they're first coming out. They don't really want to go there with somebody, so that's in there for them just to be a little easier and ease in.
That's the lesbian 101.
Okay. Yeah, lesbian 101 deck.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Here we go.
We had somebody send the game back. We had somebody return it talking about they were offended at how vulgar it was. Yes. So we encourage her to
go to the other side.
We encourage her to keep the game and go to the other side.
The other side of the game. Okay.
Keep experimenting. Just you'll be ready soon.
What up? It's your host, Ashley, and I'm interrupting this podcast to ask, are you following us? Have you downloaded the podcast? Are you subscribed to us on YouTube? If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on all platforms, Queerly Black. I'm going to let y'all get back to the show. Peace.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about play parties or group sex?
Ooh, extra spicy for a Friday.
Y'all got started without me, so
okay, play parties. First of all, if it's a room full of women, the most fun we can have is still fairly innocent, in my opinion.
Explain.
I'm just
elaborate.
Saying, we call it naked fun.
Naked fun.
We don't even have to call it like sex or orgy. It's just naked fun. We might just be having naked fun.
So is this like how Jada called her relationship an entanglement? Is this kind of like what we're talking about?
No.
It's no
strings attached.
No strings attached.
Yeah.
No emotions.
No, it may be some hors d'oeuvres, but it's just naked fun.
I don't know if we answering the question.
I know.
You answering it, but you ain't trying to answer it.
And I ain't trying to answer it.
You ain't trying to answer it.
I think it's fun. If you're feeling good and feeling right, people should do it. People should feel liberated.
I asked what y'all thoughts are.
It's fun.
It's fun.
There we go.
If the environment is right,
it's like the stars have to align for a play party. Yes. It's not something that we doing.
So all these women just happen to be in the same place, happen to, no invitation was sent or anything, just like happen to all have been walking down the street and just was here. Right. And then we just had some naked fun.
There we go.
Yeah.
Boom. So how did y'all meet? at a naked fun party? How do we meet?
To naked fun, to anyone, make sure that you communicate with your partner ahead of time.
Boundaries before
and
time.
that's why this question is there. So that you know ahead of time before you get in the situation.
Right.
To know what your partner wants, does not want, what is okay, what is not okay. So little disclaimer. Okay. Right. How did we meet?
Leave it alone. I had a follow-up question. I'm not even gonna ask you. Go ahead.
It's some content there if you want to make a follow-up question, but we met in a certain way.
Not at a group sex party.
I'll let her tell the story of how we met.
Well, I love the way we met, and things of the now is social media on the dating apps and so forth. But I love that we met in a natural, organic situation. Not to say that a club or a lounge is the same as organic, but we met at Here Lounge, which is now the Chapel in West Hollywood, but at the time it was Here Lounge. And we saw each other from across the room.
Hey.
We, in some lesbian fashion, didn't say anything. I was with people, she was by herself, and I told my friend, I was like, dang, she's so fine. Like, oh, look at her. And when we were leaving, she kind of walked out at the same time, and my friend was like, there she is. And a line that we always laugh about, or we acknowledge, is my friend went up to her and said, do you like femmes? Because as some of us know, in the
lesbian, because she's a femme.
Right, two femmes. Usually a feminine mask or so forth. So, and she was like, well, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because I had been eyeing her all night anyway. We kept,
Hey.
you meet eyes with
Yeah.
somebody in a space, it's gonna happen more than once.
Yeah.
So then I don't even, in the way she says that we just naturally formed together and we went on a date that night.
We instantly
Right in West Hollywood, walk down the street.
Right in West Hollywood.
right down the street to IHOP. She got in
There
the
you
car
go.
with a stranger.
And she picked up a stranger.
Yeah.
And she was actually out here. She was in grad school at the time in Minnesota, and she was in LA on spring break. So we ended up spending the entire weekend together, just in lesbian fashion. Dates.
That was a good weekend.
3 days. Didn't
That's a
stop
good
seeing
weekend.
each other. And she was in Minnesota, I was in LA, and it was long distance. And we were flying back and forth to see each other. We dated and this was in 2009.
2009,
when
y'all.
it was Here Lounge. We dated for maybe 2 or 3 months. And then the summer ended, summer came, spring, summer, and we both went back to school. And it was just, we met other people. Now that we've reconnected, we went back and did the math. And we were like, dang, we both met somebody in the same
weekend.
week.
We both met people local to where we were.
Yeah.
So we amicably parted ways. We, you know, we both went with the local option because we were young, we were in school, we had our stuff going on.
Yeah.
And we couldn't afford to keep
Flying back and forth was tough. Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then fast forward, I was going to text a coworker in 2017.
8 years later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And her name came up because I did a typo, and I was like, oh, wow, I have her number. Wasn't
Did
on
y'all
her-
hear that? A typo.
Typo.
Brought my name up 8 years
Ended
later.
up back to
Sure.
the,
I know how the universe
yeah.
works. Okay.
And I just hit her up, hey, hope all is well. We had quick exchanges at the time she was in her situation, and it was just really quick. Okay, wish you the best. And then she hit me up 6 months later, like, hey, what's up? I may be in LA. And then 6 months later, she was in LA, and we met up, and
it was the same vibe as in the club in 09.
And her situation had changed. I was on Single No Mingle, but seeing her and just, how the vibe, and
oh my God.
And then we connected, and then we were flying back and forth again because she was in Houston at the time. And we were like, wait, no. We cannot do this again. We did this before. So I was like, just come live with me. And then I was like, I can't have her live out here, live with me, and us be girlfriends.
Because I moved out here.
Yeah, you got to wife her up.
So I did. I proposed.
She didn't make me remain a girlfriend for long. It was like 3 months and she proposed to me. Because I don't know about y'all, but like when I hear grown people be like, this is my boyfriend. I'm
it's crazy.
Oh,
it's crazy.
I couldn't have her pick up her life to come be a girlfriend.
To come be a girlfriend.
And we were trying to be married. I guess reconnected and married. It would have been in less than a year, but then COVID.
Yeah.
So we postponed our wedding date is the date that we met at Here Lounge.
Yeah, 12
now
years
the chapel.
Now the chapel, which
right,
is 12 years later. So
which is up for sale, by the way. I don't know if we can get like a lesbian collective together.
Oh wow.
The chapel and the Abbey are up for sale. That's
wow.
Interesting. I wish I could buy it, but my thread like that.
I love that. That's what's up. So 8 years of 8 years apart, back together.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope. So now y'all live in LA.
Yes. Well, now we are outside of LA, but yes.
Okay.
We just built a home in Ontario.
Yeah.
Hey,
about an hour outside of LA.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on the next step. Marriage, house, baby was the plan. So we got 2 out of 3. We working on the baby.
Yeah. How's that going?
Thank you for the connect, Ashley.
Right.
100%. How's that going?
It's going.
Baby journey.
Baby journey is in progress.
Yeah, we have started at home first. And now we're starting to run low on our specimen. So after talking with you about it last weekend, we are considering IUI. To really just use the last bit of what we got.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, it's definitely a tough journey. Like I told you guys, you just gotta push forward, keep going, make it happen.
And be here with each other. And at the beginning, since Carrie wants to carry. I love saying that.
Mhm.
Just when we had our first attempt, like she was just so excited and happy, and like she was like, "I'm pregnant," and being there for her to whatever she's going through, because we're in this together. But this is also another layer for her.
Mhm.
That this is her body, and
Yeah.
something that she's going through and experiencing that it's something different from me. So just trying to remain neutral and keep, being happy, but then also being prepared for whatever may come. And
Right.
Yeah, she was just
It's
saying.
quite the journey for I consider myself the ultimate optimist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, fertility is something that it's not always the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I really had to kind of temper my expectations and really just be in the moment and present for whatever may come, and be able to pivot and adjust each attempt. So,
Woo, because that stuff is expensive.
Very. Yes.
Know
It's
your worth.
yeah. Listen, okay. If you want to grab them off the street, like, excuse me,
Right.
right. I got $100. No,
Right.
it is very, very expensive.
You talk about escalating to the boy next door stage, because
Listen, I done heard some stuff. I done heard some stories about people having children. And, I say, listen, I respect all of it. I think creating a family in this community is tough. We're the only people that can't just, it can't just happen, right? Like it's very intentional and expensive.
We need to make a gay man lesbian
Co-op and just like, who's available? Who don't have no kids yet? What we doing? For real. Man, if only it were that easy. I think the other problem is that as Black people, we just have so many other health issues and all the other stuff that makes it tough to just,
yes, and
interconnect like that.
we have been hopeful to have a Black donor. Our donor is Black, but as we are running low on the specimen, we literally today went back and looked at donors, and people in the Black community may know or not, but it's very low. It was 5 Black men to choose from. And when you put a Caucasian or Asian or anything, it's hundreds.
It's hundreds.
Scrolling through. So that part too is just like, wow, just had no idea. It was literally 5 men that we could choose from. Even when we first picked the donor, it was out of like 5 men, 7.
Yeah.
So that's another layer too. So
no, it's very interesting. But I want to go back to another part of you guys' story, just before y'all met each other, before kids, before marriage, all the way back. How did y'all come out?
I was brought out. I was brought out. I was one keeping it a secret and, I'm bisexual, but not dating any guys, but I'm bisexual.
No guys, but bisexual.
Right. And for me, I was chatting on MySpace with someone that I was dating at the time that my family didn't know about. I'm sorry, I just took over. And on MySpace, she commented something. My cousin saw it, and my cousin told the whole family. I was brought out of the closet. And then when that happened, then I just started telling everybody in my family, and everybody in my family is, and I always say this first, I am very blessed and fortunate that I haven't had any negative experiences with my family and being lesbian, gay. My family sometimes is now extra. I'm on the gay team.
Yeah, seriously.
And I'm just like, can y'all calm down just a little bit? But just very supportive and open. And that's something that we don't have in common. As her journey and process was different. So
okay, setting. Houston, Texas, 1998, 99. I've been gay for a long time, y'all. Okay, I'm 16, I'm in high school, I'm gay. I know I'm gay. And it's another gay girl in school. Okay, so we gay. We know we gay. So we writing letters. As a matter of fact, we passing a notebook.
Not the letters.
Not even the letters, the notebook. It's got the whole chronologue.
The whole joint in there.
Well, my nosy auntie who raised me, RIP, she read the whole chronologue, and she read me to filth after that. Yeah. So
you're gonna get cancer.
My coming out was more of a finding out. And I was so young that, you know, I was still under people's roofs, and I had to kind of, I guess, try to placate people and go along to get along, but it was not easy. Because, you know, I always say, shoot, nowadays being gay is kind of cool. Like it's kind of trending. It's okay. But back then it wasn't okay at all.
No.
You know, I thought I was going to hell, and I was reading Revelation to see what it was gonna be like in there.
Damn, how bad is it? How hot is them flames? What I don't know.
Yeah, so my coming out was finding out.
Yeah, and you know, basically. That is interesting. Just to, at the time when we both came out, it wasn't, even as I was out to my family, I still had to go to school when I was in high school, still having to go to high school and college and navigating that. And it wasn't a thing of like
gay people.
It was, people trying to figure it. And for me, as I said, my family was open. When I was in the world and I came across many people that were not, I would just be like, well, F you, because my family's on board, so I don't even care.
See, and I always say, like, the impact of having supportive parents is you can face the world with that confidence. My experience of having family, my surrounding, not approve of who I am, I was not able to face the world with that confidence. So I kind of cowered and hid and, you know, conformed as best I could, or sometimes you just keep it discreet. So,
and I will say, as I was brought out, but my mom didn't know, and this is just how smooth it was in my family. Well, with my mom specifically, she was just like calling me, "Were you dating anyone?" And I was just like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, does he treat you good?" Literally.
Does he treat you good?
Like, well, she treats me good. And she said, oh, okay, well, that's all that matters. That was literally how I came out to my mom. And she was just like, that's all that matters, is that she treats you good. And I was like,
okay, count for me. Like, I heard you. I heard what you said.
Yeah, and that was it. That was it. So yeah, everybody's experience. And I am just so grateful for the experience that I did have when I did come out. And, you know, you're always coming out, especially as a femme presenter. Always on the job, new person you meet, new friend, you go somewhere. Do you have a husband? Yeah, I do. Like sometimes it's like not even worth it. So you know.
Are there environments where like you feel, or because I think I'm always interested as a femme, and Carrie, you kind of alluded to it earlier about just your safety, but other than like if a man's trying to hit on you, like, are there other places where you just kind of go along, like, we not gonna make this a thing?
We were in Jamaica last weekend.
Oh yeah,
and,
Jamaica.
For sure. This is my sister.
Yeah, me and my wife are sisters in Jamaica too.
You're right. This is my sister, because it's like to be out there, and especially to be a femme presenting woman. You're a woman. You're looked at as a woman, and I would hate for anyone to take that as a form of taking advantage or now we're trafficked somewhere, and just it's not even worth going there. So yeah, we were in Jamaica, and we all know about Jamaica and their thoughts on homosexuality. And yes, there are many instances where it's like, it's not even worth the battle. It's not even worth the back and forth or trying to prove a point. It's a matter of safety.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even worth explaining. Like, it was, this was like 2 weeks ago. I had brought my son. We were like at a cookout, and I had him first. And so like everybody saw him with me. And then my wife came later, and one guy was like, he saw me without the baby. And he was like, oh, does your sister have your baby? Like, just assumed that it was my sister. And I was like, yeah. And I didn't even explain. I was just like, whatever. Like, you know, my wife she's the opposite. Like, she explains it to everyone. Like, and I'd be like, babe, like, don't even waste your time. Like, it's like, this is not a situation where it even matters. Like, just, he's like, oh yeah, yes. He was like, where your baby? Your sister got your baby? I was like, yeah.
Right.
So whatever. I'm curious, and I know you're asking questions, but I'm curious just to know, for you as a mask presenting person, you know, for me, it's not obvious. I can go somewhere, and I don't want to just say obvious, but I can go somewhere and someone will automatically assume I'm straight. And if I say I have a husband and this is my sister, it's believable. But for you, if you were to go to Jamaica or somewhere, or, you know, what is that experience like for you?
I would just be single. I don't have nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never encountered a situation where I felt like I was unsafe because of my sexuality. I think gay men deal with that a lot. Probably femme women who people know that they're a lesbian, but I haven't, thankfully, knock on wood, been ever in a situation where I felt like threatened or like any kind of way about. I'm also 5'10" and 250. So like there's that. Like it,
Right.
I think that probably adds to the fact that like I haven't dealt with that type of situation. But I mean, if I felt like somebody was gonna kill me because I was gay, I'd be like, I don't even know what sexuality is. Like I never had say. I'm sorry. I used to play basketball. I don't. Is my hat supposed to be turned around? Like I'll just play stupid. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, there was a time that my safety was threatened. It was January 1st. I believe it was 2015. I was in Belize. My family's from Belize. Belize for the new year. I had just taken a dip in the ocean, the salt water, feeling refreshed. Walking back, at the time I had very short hair. I had like fade, curly top, whatever. I put on my basketball shorts when I get ready. All right. And this man, just on observing me and observing what I looked like, I guess he decided I was gay. And he then began to threaten rape. He began to say he was going to rape me and taunted me as I walked back to where I was going. And that was the first time that I really felt like my life or my safety was literally in jeopardy. So, I mean, it happens. It was several years ago, but I mean, that's still kind of somewhat recent times.
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's real.
That's unfortunate.
I'm glad you're okay.
I'm great.
Yes. Okay, that's
because I had my Fanta bottle in my hand.
Hey, ready to just ready to pop off.
She's a veteran, so I know she can protect herself at all times.
Yeah. So Glynda, when did you actually just be like, all right, I like women. Like I'm gonna leave the bisexual act alone. Like
Wow, when was that? It was such a because the transition was so like, gosh, if I had to say exactly, I would say I was 21.
That's what I would answer.
Yeah. 21, because I started liking women or finding myself attracted to women when I was in the 10th grade. How old are you in the 10th grade? 16?
15, 16.
Yeah. And yeah, I would say 21. I was just like, y'all know what? Look, y'all
know what?
Yeah, this was, and it wasn't that it was anything that I like announced. It was just that I just was dating women and that was it. And I didn't even think about men at all, even though I hadn't even dated men for some time or on and off or whatever. And it just never, I was like, this is just not it. So I would say 21. Yeah, I was 21 when I was like, you know what? Yeah, this ain't for me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And I know, Carrie, I know you, you know what I'm saying? We OGs in the streets, we've been gay, you know what I mean? We've been out here. Been out here. You know what I mean?
Everybody's journey is different. And I always, I take it as, it was a time where I was really just figuring myself out, whether I liked women, whether I'm a vegetarian, so whether I like meat. But everything that you're trying to figure out, what you're going to do for your career. And I think for me, even when I was bisexual, or I always just say when I was in high school, I was just cool with people. I never really dated guys because I didn't know it just wasn't really on my mind. And so I feel like the first thought for me transition is, okay, I'm bisexual. And then I had boyfriends or whatever. And anyway, but yeah. Some people are like, you don't like meat at all, huh?
No, actually, I don't. I love that. So then now, you guys created the Ultimate Lesbian Conversation.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
What was the first question?
I don't know if it was the first question. So I created the questions, and it was more so COVID. We were at home playing all these games and different conversation starter games. And all of them are so geared to hetero people. And we just play it and we, just, okay, answer this, but switch
tailor it towards,
And I think that was literally it. And it's like, we were just looking up, then I talked to Carrie about it and we started researching different things, and it was like, oh, card game. And as soon as that just came to my mind, I'm like, well, you've been gay since the 90s, but I'm the ultimate lesbian. So literally hashed out the just questions that come about in our community. And I remember having it on my phone. I just had questions on my phone. And we met up with a lesbian couple, friend of ours. And we were just getting ready to play games and have a game night. And I was like, you know what? I got some questions. And I just pulled it up on my phone off a little Excel spreadsheet or notes app. And they were just like, dang, this is so good. And at that time, we were already kind of in the process of like thinking about, should we really do something with this? And the way they responded to it, it was just like, okay, yeah,
we got something.
We got to do it. We have to do it for us and our community. And we realized how well we work together. Just Aquemini, Gemini, and Aquarius is the dynamic duo. Outcast, great things happen.
Yes.
So after that, finished all the questions. We came to the design. We were going back and forth. She's a master with words. So she kind of came up with a descriptor and found the manufacturer. And we really, from idea all the way through to the manufacturer, produced it in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. From idea to sending it to
production. And just put a lot of just thought into.
We cranked it out.
Yeah. But doing it really just for us, because we always say that gay men have everything.
Right.
And we have a theory of, you go to West Hollywood, for us that live in LA.
Yeah.
It's gay men centric.
It's all gay men centric. Yeah.
All gay men. And we have our theories around that. Men, even though they're gay, men still make more money than women. So they can afford it. Gay men will go out, whether they're 20, 17, 60, 80. We met some guy in Palm Springs. He was 84, still out there. Hey, girl. They're out there.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere and it's all gay men centric. So it's nothing for us. We researched, and even in COVID, we were like, what are some games that we can play for us? And it was nothing. So just
and
really.
Glynda is the perfect person to have authored these questions. I always have to put this part in there because she's not only a sociologist by training and by education, she has a bachelor's in sociology, but she's also an Aquarius, and just her mind naturally gravitates to people groups, all the spectrum. Like this card game, it covers the whole gamut of lesbianism. That's how her mind works, and not just for lesbians, but for any type of distinct population group. It's like it's just native to her to think of the breadth of topics or circumstances or things that affect
the inclusivity, like making sure everybody feels seen in the situation.
And even something so as we think lesbian, a lot of our stuff is pink. And I'm like, well, what would the mask lesbian or someone that's transitioning from F to M respond to? And I'm like, let's make it purple. That's a neutral color. It can't be pink. Like, you can't do pink. Just something like that just really changes. And another part of, I know we may be going off the question, but
no, you're good.
Another part of our game is our actual company, the Lavender List, and thinking about other things that we can do. And we talk about the F to M people that are transitioning, and they are a part of our community as well. And so another part of our company that we're diving into is that part, and looking at our either charity or I don't know, donation, but we want to start having a space for binders, literally binders. We have a friend that transitioned. I have a cousin who transitioned, and my cousin at the time, after he had top surgery, had all of these binders. And it was a friend of ours who was going through the process, didn't really know much about it. My cousin ended up donating the binders to our friend, and it was life-changing.
Yeah, because they're expensive.
Yes. And like when our friend experienced that for the first time, it's like, we cannot negate this part of our community as well. It's just, they're so expensive. And you know, in our community, there are so many people that transition and they start off thinking that they're lesbian or whatever the case may be. And again, so that's another part of.
And for those who don't know, because I know somebody's going to be listening like, what's a binder? A binder is a tight-fitting garment that mask-presenting people may wear to like flatten their chest, so that when they put on a t-shirt, put on a sweater, it's a more smooth, a more smooth look.
Yeah. So Anyway, all of that in there, but that's where the game started.
Got it.
And just crashing out all the questions, cranking out all the questions. I was literally like, "Ooh, in this."
It started flowing like water.
Yeah, and it's just personal experience. And, you know, when someone tries to create something for a community, they're not a part of the community. Or they don't come with the knowledge and true experience. So that's a part of it too, just being truly lesbian and being in a lesbian relationship and having lesbian experiences and being in lesbian settings. So
I love that. And I connect with that so much because that's why I started. That's honestly why I started the podcast, was because like I would watch, like you watch shows and you see queer characters and you know that the queer character wasn't written by somebody that's queer. Like it's not that wasn't. And then to contrast, you see a queer character that's written by Lena Waithe or someone who is queer, and you see all the nuance of the character. Like you see all of the little things that, you know, are in the character. Like a good example I always like crack up about this is like when I had interviewed Jessica and Nisi, and that when we were talking,
it was amazing.
She talked about wearing Jabot jeans like back in the day. And I was like, oh man, I know you wore them with the white tee. Like, did you wear it to your knees or to your waist? Right? Like that, like those little nuances of like, I'm a queer woman who identifies with this community, not every aspect, but there are those small things that like, man, I remember I used to wear them jeans. Like I used to wear it, like, you know, and that is what like kind of helps the connectivity. And so it was just like, I identify with like, you know, you guys feeling like, man, like we got to do it for us, by us kind of style. So
exactly. For us, by us. Yeah,
for sure. FUBU, you know.
Sure. Maybe she had a little tickle in her throat.
No, yeah. Good, you good. Glynda carried the team. You good. What's the craziest answer y'all have ever heard?
Oh my gosh.
If there's one.
Oh my gosh. I have to think. And you know, some of the answers that we've heard have now turned into insiders. Like we had, and it's something so small, but we had someone, I don't even remember the question, but the way she said it, she was like, about last night. And like the way, like, so now everything, if it's something about last night, we say it like her, like, what about last night?
Okay. I keep notes. That's my superpower. Whenever I hear a wild answer, I write it down. I feel like I had got the Jamaican COVID.
Like it just hit you right quick.
Here's it. I'm gonna take a test at some point, but I feel fine. But then it just every blue moon I get a little cough. Anyway, here's some answers.
Oh, you do have the note. Yes, that one. Okay, go ahead.
I just felt guilty that I liked it so much.
What was the question?
I don't know.
Who even knows?
You just wrote the answer.
Here's the answers. I lost my nose ring. I say vagina to my mom, but anybody else I say pussy. Baby.
Oh, that must have been what do you call down there? What do you call down there?
Yeah. Okay, actually, don't flip through the question.
I'm telling y'all, you know, I had to go through. Curate this conversation.
What do you call down there?
Just my vagina. I mean, I think it honestly context. Actually, I relate to the answer because it does really actually depend on the context of like, I mean,
right.
Yeah, just vagina.
Okay, a few, because you got a whole list going.
Nah, I just, you know, we it's always fun when we interact with people in person about the game, because we do live gameplay, and people say some wild things.
I can imagine,
because we made the game, but you know, when it comes to me answering the questions, I get a little timid.
Yes,
I try to deflect and let people answer.
And that, oh my gosh, this is such a bigger thing, because as we created the game, as it was going through production, knowing where she is in her journey and how comfortable she is. And a part of what we talk about while we created it, the pride deck, you don't always have to play the pleasure deck, but the pride deck is about being comfortable and like finally expressing yourself and so forth. So even as it was going through production, I'm like, okay, baby, you have created a lesbian card game.
Exactly
How are you feeling like
about it? Yeah.
now having to express yourself and so forth? And
Don't
so
ask me nothing.
yeah. So even like we've had to, in ourselves who have created it, have to go through the questions just, and I feel like I've seen like more comfort come about, but she's a little more timid, like, okay, this one, but that again, why we created the space for whether you're comfortable around people or just with an intimate partner, like some things just really talk about.
It helps bring people out. It helps.
When I posted it on my story, one of my friends was like, she's straight, and she didn't listen to the whole narrative of like the game, and she was like, oh, we should play this, and then she texted me back and she was like, oh, actually no, wait, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I was like, yeah, you probably
it's interesting.
You this one, no, you can't. You actually, we're not gonna play this one. This one, we're actually not gonna do that. No.
But we actually had a group of gay guys play and it the whole thing.
My dream.
That was lit. That was lit. Yeah.
Like they answered every question. It's like, dang, I wish I was a fly on the wall.
Oh man, to have recorded that. That was hilarious.
They think they got lingo.
No.
Yes,
for sure.
Lesbian bed death and you hauling strap.
Right, because
y'all got the equipment.
They got some stuff though. Yeah, they got some stuff over there though.
They got a lot of stuff. But
okay, let's do two more before we go.
All right.
All right, then I'm just going. I just pulled out some cards. We just going. I'm gonna look. So just so y'all know, I ain't even. I'm gonna just shuffle them up. We gonna just,
Let it be from the pride deck.
Look. We just going, and I'm gonna just pull one out.
Yes. All right, make it good. Is it pride or pleasure?
Oh well, is it pride? Maybe pride. I don't know. Y'all tell me. How do you feel when a woman says, "I'm not a lesbian, I just like you"?
Oh Lord,
girl, bye. That's what I say to that. Girl, bye.
Woo!
It depends.
It depends. Hey.
I mean, I will. Okay, honestly, answering the question, it depends what she looks like. Because I have been in scenarios was like, well, come on in.
Well, what does she look like?
Well, come on in.
Let me show you.
And I don't know. I do wonder if this has to do also with the presentation of who they may be attracted to. And maybe you can answer from your side, but from a femme perspective, what I have gotten is I feel more comfortable because you're like my friend, or I'd rather experiment with you, and dang, I just really like you because you're so pretty and so cute. And sometimes that's what I have gotten. And it's like, okay, what do you look like? Okay. Attractive enough to experiment. Not so bad. And that was the younger me.
Yeah.
That was the younger me. But I will say that sometimes I was down. Like, all right, you like me, let's go. Honestly speaking, like, yeah. Anywho.
Don't look over here.
What do you think? Carrie, Carrie, your thoughts?
They were straight ladies.
Yeah.
No.
I think for
more than gay.
I wasn't gonna say it because I don't want to tell her business.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna let her live. I'm
gonna leave it right there.
Think it's I think for, I won't say for mask women, but I think for I'll just speak for myself. I like feminine women, right? Like my wife is feminine. I like the hair, makeup, heel. I like all that shit, right? Yeah. So most women who look like that are straight. So what I see and aesthetically looks good is most of the time straight, right? So I think the hard part, in most masculine women will tell you, like, they've all dealt with a straight woman, because like a straight woman is, if you're the right kind of person, they'll give you a chance. Like they'll do it, because like if you look like a man, you don't have the equipment. You have the equipment of a man. You're protective. You're all the things that a man is, until that emotional side come out, because you're still a woman, right? And then it's like, whoa, I ain't asked for all that. But I think that's where it gets tough for masculine presenting women, because people assume that like you're this like macho tough, like whatever, but like no, like I'm a woman still, you know, like me personally, I am the person who will, you know, take on the responsibility of like, I want to make sure it's all good. Like I'm gonna take care of my family. I'm provide for my family. All of the more masculine traits I do take on, but I'm still a woman, right? Like I'm not.
But for some women, but for some women, having all of those traits and then having that emotional side, that's intriguing.
Yes,
this is true. But then you got to push through. Like I think the problem is that sometimes where it may come out is like not a place where somebody might feel comfortable, right? So like if you're in an argument, right, with a man, depending on the kind of man, he's not gonna argue with you. He's gonna be like, girl, bye. Like, okay, you're right, honey. You're right. I'm wrong. You win, right? I just want to fuck tonight, right? Like I don't give a shit. A woman is not situated like that. What motivates a woman is not sex all the time, right? So like if a man is like, it's 10 o'clock, I'm just trying to smash, I'm not about to have this argument with you. You right. If I don't care, I'm about to have this argument with you. You know what I mean? Like if I don't care whether it go down or not, then like we gonna have this emotional exchange. So like those, I think, are the nuances of like being with a woman versus being with a man, even though the presentation is very similar. And then there's other stuff like my wife, for a while, actually, before we had our son, she took the trash out. Like that, just naturally, she fell into like just taking out the trash. Once we had our son, things shifted a bit, but like there are things about our relationship that don't look like how we look. So people would assume like, oh, you know, oh, Rochelle must do X. I'm like, no, Rochelle doesn't clean up. I clean up. Like I do the laundry. I keep the house, like, you know, I'm the house manager, as you would call it, right? Like she don't do that. She does cook. She does other, you know, a lot of other things, but like, it doesn't look how we look, you know? So yeah, it is interesting. But I think for me, yeah, like I would find myself like attracted to a lot of straight women, because that's just aesthetically what I like. So yeah, I mean, for masculine, I think it happens a lot.
Which is why I may have dated more straight women than gay women. Yeah,
because if that's what you're interested in, and they're, you know, they tend to just be. And if you're interested in a masculine presenting woman, they're gonna probably 9 times out of 10 be gay. So you just automatically are like,
exactly. Oh, there goes.
I don't have a challenge with that, because I already know.
There go one.
All right, one more.
I like the way you're playing.
Okay. Well, that's the rules. The rules. Kept the rules in there. Okay, let's see.
Yes.
That's not interesting. But actually, you know what, let's answer it so that people know that there are other questions in here.
Pride Day.
How do you feel about butch women packing?
Does
that mean like wearing the strap all the time?
Yeah, or packer. I think that people should do what they want to do, and if that makes them feel a certain way that's positive and affirming, do it.
I mean, some straight women wear butt pads.
Good point.
That's true.
That's a good one.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I don't pack. I do what you feel you need to do. I'm all about, for me, I consider myself like a vanilla lesbian. I'm like, look, I played basketball. I just look like this, and I just like women. That's it. Yeah, right. I don't know nothing else about nothing. And my pronouns are she, her. Right. I don't know nothing about, I'm learning about our community just as much as the next person.
Yeah, we say the same.
I'm learning about every other letter, the pronouns, the new rules, the new laws, what color we wearing, who we canceling, who we talking to this month, who we ain't talking to. I'm learning it just like everybody else. And so I just feel like I just want people to do whatever they have to do to feel comfortable, because it's really hard to exist as a queer Black person. You know, as a Black person already, you know, we come from the church and, you know, dealing with our families and all the, you going to hell and all of that. and then we broke, so we got to go to college and we got to go figure out how to make some money. We don't got trust funds to just go sit and discover ourselves. We got to go make money, and then we can worry about this sexuality stuff, and I just feel like whatever keep you off a bridge, keep you out the doctor office getting medication. If you got to pack, if you got to strap, if you got to cut your boobs off, if you got to transition, call you a different name, whatever. Well, I just feel like it's not nobody else's business. It's your business, it's your journey, and your happiness is what matters the most. So if you got to pack or strap or whatever, as long as you ain't hurting nobody or you ain't deceiving nobody or, anything like that, live your life.
It's so interesting what you just said, hurting someone. We had a guy, oh my gosh, and I won't even get into it, when we were looking to get married, looking at venues. And he said, oh yeah, I'm sure they don't have a problem with gay weddings. Ooh. It's not like you're trying to sacrifice a chicken or anything. And it's like, why are you connecting this gay weddings to the sacrificing of a chicken or anything bad?
And this was San Francisco Town Hall.
Wow.
We just out here trying to get married. We ain't hurt nobody. Anything.
That's insane.
What you said about being a vanilla lesbian, that is us. And we talk about it sometimes. Like, I often forget that, damn, I guess I am married to a woman. Thanks for pointing it out.
Right.
Just living our lives.
People tell us all the time, they be like, yeah, I forget y'all gay. I'm like, well, because it's not a thing. Like, I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm not trying to, I just exist in this world with my wife. That's it. Like, I don't.
It's like everybody else.
Yeah.
Trying to be happy, trying to have a family.
Yeah, but it just goes back to the stereotypes of like what queer people are, like these crazy, like out there, like people, and it's like, nah, like we normal, we got houses, we go to work, we tired, we like it's Friday, we trying to find a happy hour just like you, like we is not like it is not that
bow tie, just
you don't want to be bothered, like I'm good, so yeah, no, it's interesting. I appreciate y'all for talking to me. One piece of advice that you would have for someone who is on their own queer journey?
Oh gosh, take your time. It is your journey, and just be ready at your own time and do it when you can.
I would just say find your tribe, find people that are affirming, find spaces and places that are affirming. These days it's a lot easier. You can have virtual spaces, you can have virtual friends if your immediate area is not amenable to your lifestyle. But always know that at the end of it all, you will find your way.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I told you she's so good with her words. I love it.
Where can the people find y'all?
Well, you can shop the game on lezconvo.com. We're also on Amazon. We're Prime eligible, so you can get today, same day delivery
tonight.
If you're an artsy type, you might find us on Etsy.
And then you can find us at the Giverrs, Giverrs with 2 R's. Giver is our last name. That's a fun fact. We blended our last names. We got married. I was Givens and she was Kerr. So we took 3 of each. 4 of mine.
Oh, y'all made. We thought about doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, we did. We
thought about doing that. Y'all made a name. I love that. We thought about that. We just hyphenated.
Okay.
We ended up hyphenating, but we thought about doing that, like making up a last name. So now I know somebody who did that.
You can find us out in the community because we love our people and we're always out in our lesbian world. So yeah.
Dope. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciated this conversation. And y'all know what to do. This is another episode of the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.